Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. It's another edition of Just with Top Accolade News, and I am Jonathan Powell. So today we have so much to discuss about, the final verdict on presidential election petition tribunal. So we'll be dissecting and looking at several considerations concerning the outcome of the tribunal, alongside, getting several perspectives and reactions from several political bodies. So sit around with me. Joining with me today on the show are two amazing personalities, but one would be an on-air person. So we have a delectable political scientist that goes by the name Mr. Kingsley Barango Taria.
Thank you.
You're welcome to the show. So I think, just like I explained, the other person would be live on air with us, and he is a political analyst and a lecturer of political communications, going by the name Mr. Richard Wigwe. Thank you very much, sir. So it's a lot. It's a lot to put together right now, because people are thinking and they were anticipating the outcome of this tribunal. So we have several things to ponder on. So I just want to give the floor to you, Mr. Taria, to just say some few things concerning what you were thinking would be the outcome.
Well, it's a tribunal, presidential election petition tribunal. To me, I wasn't expecting anything different, sincerely speaking, because I'm a Nigerian.
Okay.
In as much as we are optimistic of change and changing the trajectory and narratives of our society, I believe that we remain incorrigible in this part of the world as Africans, that we predict the future even from the present.
Take the future even from the present.
Yes, because firstly, I believe that law is not a brooding omnipresence in the sky.
Okay.
It must emanate from somewhere.
Okay.
So whatever the court has said, since the law is a prophecy of what the court says, and nothing much pretentious, I believe I go by the judgment.
So
because if it were to be the other way around too, I would have still accepted the judgment or the result.
So you say if I would come in to say the law is a prophecy of judgment,
what the court says, and nothing more pretentious.
So if you stand by a kind of philosophy of that, would you say, or would I say, do you think the verdict given by the tribunal is fair enough for you?
So do I have, or do we have a monopoly of, or do we have the yardstick of ascertaining fairness and or injustice? Do we, as non-legal luminaries?
Okay.
Because this is a profession, for crying out loud, and this painstakingly, took time. It lasted for over 11 hours.
Over 11 hours?
Yes, I pulled it up a little, but at some point I was busy because of my cousin's marriage. But I followed it up at this live and everything. So, do we now have a yardstick to prove that something is fair or not? So I guess it should be in the hands of the legal luminaries, because one thing is sure, we are just too emotional about this judgment.
Too emotional?
Yes, we should just leave it like that and allow them to do what is right, because I don't think people can just sit 11 hours for 11 good hours, maybe reading an already prepared judgment. It was followed poco gradually. I followed it up, at least both on and offline.
Okay, going over to Mr. Richard, I want to suggest you have your own thoughts. So I also want to throw this to you, where you would say, do you think the verdict given by the tribunal, is it fair to you?
Well, I think the tribunal petition was that.
Yes. Do you think it's fair?
I think when you have to address those things, it depends on the political divide you look. I think it should be analyzed neutrally and objectively to discover that there are issues that we need to take to for you to know or to say that whether the judgment of the tribunal is fair. I mean, two of them, I think I want to do two of them. The first one is the issue of the 23% of Abuja is going to 10%, the use of arms.
Okay.
I don't think you need to be a lawyer before you can interpret that aspect. For the political science angle, it is covered that it is excessive. The war they are armed. So for you to just suddenly say that it's no longer armed, I think something is wrong there. Did you get the point? I think the other issue is the issue of INEC setting the standard referee that says this is the rule that guides the players. And he says this is what they're going to do. This is the rule. In case you violate the rule, you'll be found. Suddenly you just decide to change the rule when the play is going on.
Well,
INEC will say this is what we're going to do. And suddenly on the process, the INEC decided to change that. And the tribunal says that the INEC has the right to do that. I think it's a negative precedent. Politically, it's very negative because what are you trying to tell other players?
Okay. Well, excuse me. So yes, permit me to come in, and I believe you have several considerations to make concerning deciding if the tribunal is fair, and definitely we would get to that along the line. So I want to say, if we are still depending on what the several considerations of fairness, what does it mean before we can give this thing a thought? So let us go down to say, why the all of a sudden change between the 25% mandatory vote in Abuja? Why did it all of a sudden become irrelevant?
So, sorry. Firstly, have there been a precedent on that before? What does the Constitution say in the first place? If you go to section 134, subsection 1 and 2, that is where it is concretely provided that for you to become the president of this country, as amended in 1999 of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Constitution, you should at least have 25% of 2/3 majority in 24 states.
In 24 states.
And the FCT. This, it is stipulated. Now, let me tell you, the issue of this, I think where this comes in is a matter of understanding of Constitution. Now, let us go into another matter. Now, it says that 25% FCT, in 24 states, of like that, the 25% is in 2/3, the majority of the total population of a state. Now there comes another. Now this now will take us to another matter now. Of if number one, the FCT, the Abuja is a state
or not a state.
Now, if you go to section 299 of the Constitution as well, there was a case between Okoboye and the FCT. You understand?
Okay.
There was a dispute between the Federal Capital Development Agency. What is a state? In short, what are the parameters to say that this is a state? We have both the legislature, the judiciary, the executive. You understand? They are all the parameters to guarantee that this particular place is a state. Now, let me also divert a little, because what did the court say? Before I said I am going to lay all my credence on what the court says, because I believe primarily that the court or the law is not a brooding omnipresence. They cannot emanate any proceeding or judgment from anywhere. They must come from a written document, which is the ground norm of the land. You get what I'm saying?
I'm getting.
Now, what did the court say? They said that FCT, that's according to Justice Samani Haruna, Samani Haruna, he said that the FCT was not considered in this matter because the FCT is more like, even if it is constitutional, why do you now lay more credence to just FCT alone when I am 1 over 24 other states?
So they are not even considered.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, let us now leave the constitutional angle and look at laymen.
Okay.
What the Constitution say about voting? They said simple majority votes carries and you win. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you want to tell me that if FCT is so important, then why don't we now jettison the rest 36 states and capitals are only do election in FCT alone.
So that is
Let us know that okay, it's only FCT that we will now use. You understand? That is why I said this constitution needs to also be amended, because it is I think the genesis of our problem.
So that means you
as a country.
You
understand what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
As a country, it is the genesis of our problem. You understand? I didn't write this constitution. I was not part of the amendment committee or whatever. But I think there is a lacuna in this constitution.
Okay.
That is creating some level of public opinion. Yeah.
So that means your view is that the constitution should be amended.
Yes. Because you can see now, there's no way in Nigeria you go and you have a universal view on this issue. They must be divergent, because if I even go into section 147 of the Constitution, if you have it here, you understand, which stipulates that according to the federal character principle, each state must produce a minister, and FCT is recognized as a state in that direction.
Well, there's some
you can also check it. Do you know that FCT also has 5 local governments, just like other states? But Bayelsa has 9 local governments. You don't have 15 local governments. It operates like a state as well.
Well, giving awareness to this, let us turn to Mr. Richard concerning this same issue, this same matter of why the 25% mandatory votes in Abuja, why was it irrelevant? So if I would say, do you suggest that the constitution should be amended? Well, that's okay, so you are emphasizing that 25% vote for Abuja is not too much.
It's important, it's not too much, because of the importance of Abuja. No, because for me, I think the level of the constitution is something that is important to Abuja. And for you to look Abuja as a bit of law, at least you need to rely on the leaders to find the net, and then not to think you can take too much.
Okay, just moving on the show, we are moving on because it is a whole lot to put together. I'm really enjoying this. Concerning the precedent at hand, there was a particular case that was filed concerning the Till's case of drug criminality. Why was it forfeited with claims that it was a civil crime? Why?
I will never go against what is written or documented, because anything that we say out of that context will be pronounced null and void.
Okay.
Even the Constitution says it as a matter of inconsistency. So, in my approach towards any issue, I'll be very, very, very consistent. Just as I said, and I repeat, that the law is not a brooding omnipresence in the sky. It emanates from what? Somewhere. No, let's talk about the forfeiture and why it was struck out. From my following meticulously, I observed that, okay, fine, I was accused, I should saying right there. You know, because in law, until you are convicted, you cannot be found culpable of such crime.
Of such crime,
Yes.
regardless of the crime.
Yes, until you are convicted of such a crime. That, okay, you did it. Now, you forfeited it. And let me tell you what it means for why they put in a civil matter. Because in a civil matter, forfeiture is one of the sanctions for punishment.
Punishment.
Yes, if you're found culpable. So I am not here to talk about if President Tinubu was found culpable of the crime or not. All I'm trying to say here is now, they said he was a drug peddler, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. And okay, he forfeited some monies to some Swiss account, about 10 accounts, over $460,000 or what. Okay. Understand? I think he, by that action, he paid for the punishments.
Paid for the punishment.
Yes.
Because a lot of
as sanctions, that is more like a sanction.
Mr. Richard, we expressed that Tinubu's case of drug criminality was forfeited with the claims that it is a civil crime. Now, I want to ask, does it mean that the court is biased? Okay. Okay. That's good. That's okay. So we would be going for a short break right now. You are watching Gist with Top Accolade, so just stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Just with Top Accolade, and we have been dissecting the final verdict on the presidential election petition tribunal, and it has been an amazing time out here. So we have been discussing, and now we have several considerations already explained. Over to you, sir. I know that INEC is something to talk about. I definitely know, because about 300 billion was spent to acquire the Beavers portal, and the results weren't tallying with what was on the Beavers and live counting of results. Now, INEC had said earlier that results will be transmitted electronically. Now, why the sudden change?
Well, it is a controversial question.
Okay.
But let me go by this. Firstly, I was in the last elections. I exercised my franchise dutifully. I also monitored how the ad hoc staff operated, and using the Beavers machines afterwards to transmit results electronically. Now, talking about, first I will go to what the judge said.
Okay.
The judge said that the electronic transmission of results was not captured in the Electoral Act. It only captured the use of Beavers machines. Do you understand? Yes, that was the judgment. I read it. Or are you not privy to it?
So,
when they said it was not captured in the Electoral Act.
Is that not a default to the Nigerian system?
Now, let me tell you what it means. Now, going back, what it means is that it's a matter of misconception.
Okay.
Nigerians expected that as the elections were to be going on or was going on, there will be a large screen or a particular uniform place where they will go and be seeing their results up and down. But that Beavers, by model, either your face or your hand, right? when it captures you, the result, the presiding officer snaps it and transmits it. Or was there no transmission at the polling unit levels? There was. So what other transmission are you talking about?
So why were the results not tallying with live counting of the results?
Yeah, I guess that is where the political abracadabra comes in. You understand? You know, I guess I believe that sincerely. You know, I am actually embarrassed.
True.
Yes, it's embarrassing sincerely for our country. At how many years now? 60. You will be celebrating 62. I mean 63. Sorry, yeah, 63. October 1st, and we are still doing things
at this point,
like Gabon and Burundi, Sao Tome and Principe, and so on. It's actually bizarre to see such a thing that you say this today, and because you want to favor somebody, you say another thing today. But however, they have said it. I am not a lawyer. They are more competent to adjudicate on such matters.
Still moving on the show, we would be turning over to Mr. Richard concerning INEC. We are explaining concerning INEC, and they said the results was going to be transmitted electronically. So we are asking, why the sudden change?
This is a regime, and INEC is supposed to be a neutral body, and a neutral umpire, and that neutral umpire needs to have the free hands to choose the rules that should guide you in regulating what the players. And INEC had an issue told the players that this is the rule that we are going to follow. Some parties can see that the rules that we are going to follow. Now the question is, will INEC be right to, along the line, change those rules suddenly? Now the truth is that, and the objective point is this, that INEC has no right and no court should justify INEC with behavior by just on the line, just change the rule. That shows that it was become a partial one. You are not supposed to do that. So, I think INEC need to explain why would you change the rule. And you see, I think I was watching the Tribunal of the cases. People were coming to the INEC said that we have a technical hitch along the line. But someone came to contradict that statement that there was nothing like technical hitch. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm listening.
Ask me, what happened to the INEC sudden change of a rule that was, I don't know whether you know the importance of my political position. I don't know the political implication of it. For something or so important, you just have to really like just want to take a rule. No, you don't do that. Even the football man can go, you don't do that. If you are doing that, you are creating an aspect system. That act alone can set the nation on fire.
Okay. Yes, I'm
If
listening.
you are right, some people will perceive that they are becoming a partial.
Okay.
So protection in politics is important. Why would you change the rule?
Why would they change the rule?
Yes, certainly.
So I want to pinpoint, was there any external influence that warranted INEC to change the rule?
What they're saying that they were saying that it's only technical. So first of all, yes, this will justify that along the line you try to do that and it's not possible. You know, you can justify that. But here, some people are saying at the same time, the election was going on simultaneously. Both the presidential election and the other one. And one is being transmitted and the other is not. So can you give a justifiable reason for that? Can you?
There should be a justifiable reason for that. Okay, so still, yes, I can hear. So still moving on the show, we are trying to explain the fact that INEC are not supposed to change all of a sudden concerning their transmission of the result electronically. So I think we have social media. People are always bothered. Anything that happens always goes to the social media, and when we listen to them, they come and they say different things concerning Nigeria, especially the people of Nigeria. So now, from expressions being seen on social media, do you think that Nigerians are satisfied with this outcome?
Well, elections are not on social media, but a heavy catalyst towards societal change. However, I feel that majority of persons are not satisfied.
I'm not satisfied.
But on the other hand, I must say we are the architects of our problems.
We are
the architects of our problems. Let me explain. We have statistically over 200 million Nigerians, but just 87 million are registered voters.
87 million are registered.
We have one of the highest number of voter apathy in this part of the world. Why? So many persons are not interested. Okay, you are not interested in politics, you're not interested in the electioneering processes and everything. You don't come out to vote, exercise your franchise, you don't go to your ward, you don't have the voter's card.
Okay.
So what locus standi do you have to come and talk about the politics of Nigeria?
You know, some of the persons speaking were actually core voters online.
Most of them were then, how did you ascertain that?
Definitely.
I have people around my locality that did not even vote. They were just on that day.
At all?
Yes, but they are the hardest complainants. I went to vote, exercise my franchise. Yes.
You know, some persons.
Yeah, let me tell you, we are just living in a fool's herd in this country. You know, we are being hoodwinked by the most emotional people.
Okay.
Me myself, I can never be moved by emotional people. If I see you crying and say based on election, I will laugh at you. Because I have grown above, levels of crying and complaining. You know what I want to do now? I just want to go there too and do my own and change. You understand? And change the narratives for myself.
Well, to me, I would not justify that some people have mixed conceptions, but some people feel.
Actually, majority of the persons sincerely going by what I see on X, Facebook, and so on and so forth. You know, their vituperations says a lot about their dissatisfaction with the process. Although, will you blame anyone?
Well, it's true.
I am not the judge.
I'm not blaming. Over to
Mr. the Supreme Court.
Over to Mr. Richard. I hope you're listening. So, from expressions, we are concerned about people, and majority of the people are kind of always on social media. So, do you think the Nigerians are satisfied with this outcome of the tribunal?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Mr. Richard, I can hear you.
If you look at judicial issues like this, most times, it's very difficult for you to objectively determine if the majority of Nigerians are satisfied with the judgment or not. Considering the fact too that what we applied here was a simple majority voting system.
Okay.
We are almost, we needed a simple majority to win. So the president got a simple majority, for instance, while soliciting 8 million, while the two parties, 13 million. So here, we need to ascertain that the majority of Nigerians are not pleased with the judgment. That is almost very difficult.
It's true.
Very difficult because knowing the issues are involved. But then you can feel the feelings of the people if you have to be objective. Just go on the around and ask yourself.
Yes.
Use the social media.
Yes, well, that is a good aspect, and I think we have come to the end of the show. We have, been discussing about several things we said that we would discuss, and it is a wrap on the show. I know you have been listening, you've been watching, and I want to believe you have had an amazing time with us. So join us, same station, Gist with Top News. I am Jonathan Powell. Do have a wonderful